Northern Uganda in the early 2000s had already been ravaged by Africa's longest-running guerrilla insurgency, when the World Health Organization warned of a perfect storm of disease. Two forms of deadly human sleeping sickness were converging, threatening millions of lives across Africa. Researchers from the Royal Dick School of Veterinary Medicine in Edinburgh, Scotland, and Makerere University in Uganda made a breakthrough when they identified farm cattle as the carriers of the disease, spread by tsetse flies, which were biting the animals and then biting people.
Sleeping sickness in Uganda was a bit like COVID for us today. It was a catastrophe for Uganda. And there was a disconnect between people realising that tsetse flies transmitted this disease, but that tsetse flies were picking the disease up from cattle. Once we knew that, then it laid the store really for something to be done about it.
A key decision in the fight back against the crisis was when the Ugandan authorities set up a public-private partnership to attack the spread of the disease.
They wanted focused attention for all the medical people, all the veterinarians, all the people working in environment, all the leadership in the local governments to work together and come and find solutions of eliminating this problem.
Part of the new programme was to send final year veterinary students from Makerere University, some of whom were facing unemployment, into the field to aid the SOS campaign.
So we sent some of the young vets into the field. We'd give a try to see if they could set up veterinary businesses, full-scale businesses, to complement the few district veterinary officers and see if by selling all of veterinary products, they could then also carry the sleeping sickness products, if I put it that way.
IKARE is the charitable arm of a European private equity firm that had invested in the other private partner in SOS, Ceva Santé Animale. Ceva supplied the 3V vets, as they became known, with drugs that were injected into the cattle, cleansing them of the disease, and insecticides that were used to spray the animals to then keep the tsetse flies away.
When we are spraying, we target the limbs, the hind limbs.
Former student Patrick Apondo, seen here in his original 3V store, has since expanded his businesses, opening new stores and helping to train hundreds of sprayers who have now set up their own small businesses. And as a result, cases of sleeping sickness have plummeted.
We have seen a big reduction in sleeping sickness cases over the years, and to the extent that in the whole of last year we did not see cases coming up. So we think our interventions are yielding because they have been able to create that suppression of the cases of sleeping sickness.
The success of the SOS campaign was recognised at a meeting of the World Health Organization, who'd originally sounded the sleeping sickness alarm in Africa.
We had a meeting of WHO 2 weeks ago. I think Uganda is among those countries, based on what the reports are, who have eliminated sleeping sickness as a public health problem.
The 3V vets are now standalone, self-supporting businesses, which was all part of the original strategy when SOS was formed.
I think one thing that we brought as a private sector was a perspective where we knew we would have to exit. And when you know that you're going to leave, you've got to think about your legacy, and you've got to think about how you're going to train people locally so that they are able to deliver whatever you want to achieve. And that's exactly what happened. So that is a virtuous circle, if ever I saw one. And that must be the greatest outtake from this whole initiative.